Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
Breaking news tonight. New video released of the man police believe killed Wayne State University Police Sergeant Colin Rose. And Rose's parents sit down with Local 4 Defender Karen Drew for an exclusive interview. We're glad you're with us tonight at 11. Let's start with the video you're seeing first on Local 4. Police believe the man who killed Sergeant Rose took off running, and a D-Dot bus video camera actually caught the man.
Defender Karen Drew is live breaking the story for us tonight, and she also sat down with Rose's parents as well. Karen?
Colin Rose's parents have really been shying away from the camera. They were afraid to speak. That is, until tonight. They say they have something to say. And we'll get to that in a moment, but first, that exclusive video the defenders were able to obtain that could bring a major break to this case.
Take a close look at this video. Police believe the man seen here running, then walking, then running in front of a bus is the same man that killed Sergeant Colin Rose. This video was taken from a D-Dot bus about 10 minutes after the shooting of Sergeant Rose.
The new video shows the same person, which we've tracked running from the scene, crossing Grand River in the area of Grand River and Rose Parks.
After the shooting? After the shooting.
Look at the posture, look at the way they're walking, look at the clothing that the person's wearing, and see if you know who it is.
Sullivan and Duplessis are part of the task force trying to find Sergeant Rose's killer.
Right now we're investigating every possible lead.
It was the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, November 22nd, when Rose was shot in the head while he patrolled just off of campus on Lincoln near Selden. Left behind by the killer, this blue and yellow mountain bike, a flashlight, and gloves. Evidence has been recovered from these items, but who they belong to is still a mystery.
We're worried that this isn't going to be the only time that this person commits one of these kinds of atrocities.
140 miles away in the small town of Richland is where Colin's parents live. There's a tree in the city park decorated with blue ribbons in Colin's honor. It's a world away from Detroit. Karen and Randy Rose spend a lot of time with one of Colin's dogs. They haven't talked about their son's death to the media until now.
We're stepping out a little bit of our comfort zone to make a plea that says, hey, if anybody knows anything, please share the information with the police.
Someone knows something, heard something, perhaps recognizes that bike or who was riding it the days before Rose was killed.
It's tough to move on.
Yeah.
We still have kind of an open wound.
The funeral service, the outpouring of support from officers, as well as canines, the Roses say was unbelievable.
We just didn't realize how many people he touched. He loved what he was doing. Yeah. He loved it. He loved his job. And he died doing what he loved.
Yeah, I mean, he loved Detroit. He really did.
Now, these parents say it's their job to keep pushing for answers, begging for someone to come forward, not only for justice for their son, but to find a killer on the loose, and someone who just may know this person could unlock the key to the mystery.
We want the community to be safer. We want people to feel that they can go outside and walk, drive, ride, play, and not have to worry about a police killer out on the street.
You know, we all grew up in neighborhoods, and you kind of know who belongs in your neighborhood and who doesn't.
No matter how insignificant they might think that tidbit of information would be, we beg them, we're pleading to them to please call the task force.
Now, as Rose's parents continue to cope with the loss of their son, the Wayne State University Police Department has to cope with the loss of one of their own as well. So tomorrow at 5, another exclusive. The Local 4 defenders were able to get access to these police officers. They've been also shying away from the camera. We're there at roll call, we're there on patrol, and I sit down with Chief Holt to talk about Sergeant Colin Rose and how this department is coping with that loss. Meantime, that video that we showed you at the top of the newscast, if you recognize that man or happen to have any information, call Crime Stoppers. That number, 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Devin and Kimberly, the reward is $102,500. Police are hoping that tonight they're going to get some calls on this case.
Yeah. And maybe even they noticed the design that was on his shirt, just something, like you said, any little tidbit of information. Karen, I know you and I talked tonight on Facebook Live about this, and even in death, Officer Rose is still making a huge impact for so many people.
He really is. 75 lives have been touched because of him. He was an organ donor. That means 75 people had their lives changed because of the donation he made. A hero on the street, a hero in the department, and a hero for 75 strangers.
All right, Karen. And if you'd like to take another look at the surveillance video, we recommend it. The Local 4 Defenders just obtaining this tonight. Head to clickondetroit.com. You'll find the link on the homepage.
All right, power lines down, windows blown out, and trees toppled, all from powerful winds sweeping across the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah, this is a video from Marquette, where we had rooftops blown off, and Ben, we're in for winds just as strong tomorrow.
Yeah, we don't often see winds this strong outside of severe thunderstorms, but we're going to see sunshine tomorrow and temperatures in the 50s. But we do have a high wind warning. That watch has now been upgraded to a warning, meaning conditions are likely that we will see these type of wind gusts as we get into the afternoon. Noticeable but not terrible to start. Once we head into the afternoon, these gusts will top 50 miles an hour, and that's going to be the issue. They'll subside pretty quickly once the sun sets, but we've got a period of about 9 to 10 hours during the day where we could potentially be seeing damage. So we're looking at down trees and down limbs and small trees, power outages likely, and driving is not going to be fun, especially in taller vehicles like vans and trucks. We'll talk more about what's to come after the wind in your 4-zone forecast coming up. Devin.
Ben. Well, what to do with the hulking mess of the half-finished Wayne County Jail sitting on Gratiot? Spend the extra millions to finish it, or take up Dan Gilbert on an offer to build the jail on another site so that he can put a soccer stadium here? Tonight, Wayne County Executive Warren Evans with some answers on where things stand. So we bring in Mara McDonald, who is live at the jail. I guess we'll call it the jail site for now. Mara.
That's right, Devin. And after listening to Wayne County Executive Warren Evans tonight, it seems pretty clear that Dan Gilbert may have made him an offer that for this site that he could actually refuse. Take a listen.
While the rock proposal remains worth considering, it doesn't change the fact we are closer to building on Gratiot than at East Forest.
And with that, Wayne County Executive Warren Evans laid it out in his annual State of the County address. Dan Gilbert's Rock Ventures proposal has to be taken seriously, but it's no done deal.
Rock has a lot of work to do to meet our timetable. This isn't posturing or hyperbole, and it's not anti-soccer. It's just where we are today.
The costs for Wayne County's new jail at the Gratiot site spiraled hysterically out of control under the now ousted Facano regime. Evans and the county commission have been trying to come up with the proposal that hits the county taxpayers the least. Enter Dan Gilbert, who says he'll build the county its new criminal justice complex, not just a jail, on East Forest, if the county will give him $300 million and the site on Gratiot for a new glitzy Major League Soccer stadium and entertainment district. $300 million is what the county thinks it will need to spend to finish the stalled jail on the Gratiot site.
At the end of the day, Dan Gilbert may have good intentions and be willing to adequately fund the 3 new buildings the county will need if we move to an alternative site. But the question remains, at the end of which day?
Back here live, and let's not forget that Rock Ventures is not the only name in this game. The county already has a request for proposal, or RFP, out with Walsh Construction for final numbers on what it's going to cost to finally get this thing built here, and they are expecting those numbers in May. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
All right, Mara. A Detroit man who the feds say is an ISIS sympathizer is expected to take a plea deal later this month. 29-year-old Sebastian Gregerson was arrested last summer after the FBI discovered he was building an arsenal for a jihad-type attack. Today, documents were filed to change his pretrial hearing to a plea hearing. Gregerson has also withdrawn all pending pretrial motions, cutting a deal with prosecutors. He's expected to plead guilty March 30th.
Search is on for 3 men who pretended to be police officers, broke into a West Side home and shot the owner. They kicked in the side door of a home near Warren and the Southfield Freeway this morning. They yelled that they were police and forced a man and woman to the ground, and the 35-year-old man was shot in the back. He is in the hospital tonight, but is expected to survive it. The men stole a large amount of money from the home, so police believe this was not random, but that the victims were targeted.
Detroit police asking for your help again tonight, finding the man who mugged a 71-year-old woman. We showed you this video last month from outside a grocery store on Rosa Parks Boulevard. It shows the crook trying to snatch the woman's purse, but she fights him off, beating him with her cane. Police are still looking for the would-be robber, so take a good look here at this video. If you have any information, call police.
Well, have folks just thrown in the towel when it comes to weight loss? We'll tell you why Americans seem to be okay with being more overweight than ever.
A woman chases down the man who steals her rent money, and what makes this so incredible is that woman is 8 months pregnant. Germont?
And I can tell you that a crook sneaks into a Corktown business, but he's not after anything in the register, what he took and how you can help ahead.
All right, Germont, and again, the breaking news that we're following tonight, we've obtained this evening brand new surveillance video of the man Detroit police are seeking in connection with the murder of Wayne State Police Sergeant Colin Rose. This is the video that shows the suspect running across Grand River moments after the shooting back in November. If you've got any information at all, you're urged to contact Detroit police immediately. We'll be right back.
Coming up on Local 4 News today, all of the overnight stories that could impact you and your family as you wake up. Plus, it's Wellness Wednesday.
Want to boost your child's attention span and confidence or reduce your own stress? It might be far easier than you think. Tomorrow at 5 a.m., I'll show you the magic pill that's not a pill at all.
Plus, weather and traffic always on the 4s. Detroit mornings start here from 4:30 to 7 a.m. See you when you wake up.
It's the magic.
Welcome back, everybody. The search is on for this guy who targeted a downtown restaurant. He didn't go after the register. Instead, he stole cash directly from employees.
We'll bring in Germont Terry following the story tonight. Germont, he snuck in while they were busy.
You're exactly right, Devin. Yes, the workers here at Mujis were having somewhat of a meeting in the restaurant when this guy managed to get to their belongings and rip them off. But little did this guy know that cameras were rolling the entire time.
It surprises me that it's very bold.
That's one way to describe this guy. Sarah Vidash reacts to one of her favorite restaurants being targeted.
Yeah, I hope they get him.
Sarah says she knows the owner.
I love that he has carried on the tradition with the deli and that the sandwiches are named after friends and family.
This week, this man walked into Mujis Deli, but he didn't walk out with a sandwich. Instead, Detroit police say he left with more than $200 in cash, credit cards, and a driver's license, all stolen from an employee.
Oh, maybe he thought since it was right out in the open, it would be, overlooked.
He may have been overlooked by the workers that day, but after reviewing the store surveillance, they pulled this image of the crook. They called police, then took to social media to warn others, hoping someone in Corktown recognizes him.
That you're probably going to get caught up because everybody knows each other somehow these days. And we still live in a village, no matter how big this village has become.
And tonight, it's unclear if this guy targeted other people in other businesses, but Detroit police say, of course, if you recognize them, they would like to hear from you. Reporting live in Corktown tonight, Germont Terry, Local 4.
Okay, Germont. Now here's a look at what Evrod Cassimy is working on for tomorrow night.
It's an all-natural way to reduce stress and just relax, and it's gaining in popularity.
You just feel rejuvenated. You feel a lot more calm. You don't feel anxious.
I'm Evrod Cassimy. Tomorrow at 11, I'll show you what's inside of this pod and explain why people are coming here to just float.
Okay.
Ben's turn now. Some weather changes just kind of sneak in, and others knock the door down.
The one that's coming?
Yeah.
Going to be knocking some doors down.
Yeah. And usually when we get strong storms, they come in, they do their damage, and they move on. This is going to be a period of about 9 to 10 hours.
Wow.
Where we could be seeing winds that approach severe thunderstorm strength. So this is definitely going to be something to pay attention to. At 6 o'clock, we showed you that incredible wind speed out at Bismarck, which was 67 miles an hour. And again, this was outside of a thunderstorm. This was just straight line winds, though things have calmed down there. But you can see there in the pink and purple shades, those are wind gusts of over 40 miles an hour, much smaller area than what we were looking at 6, but that is going to start expanding tomorrow and sliding east, and it is something that we will have to deal with, especially as we get into the afternoon. We're at 42 on the thermometer. It's now cold enough that we're calculating wind chills. They're at 36 right now with that 10-mile-an-hour wind. These are going to go lower, as you can imagine, by daybreak. We'll look at that in your 4-zone forecast coming up. And those winds still out there as you look at the Penobscot building with those flags still blowing tonight. Here's what we're looking at on the radar, and you can see that the showers are out here to the west. Those should stay away from us. In fact, the clear skies that we've got on top of us generally are going to remain as we head into tomorrow. But as far as those temperatures go, it is colder than what we had out there yesterday. In fact, those temperatures are colder by about 10 to 15 degrees compared to what we had out there yesterday. The story obviously is going to be the winds as we look into the rest of today. And as far as what's to come, not much in the way of precipitation. We will see breezy conditions, though, as we start out the morning. Those become much windier as we get into the afternoon hours. And as this second cold front comes through, that's going to trigger those peak winds that we're going to get over 50 miles an hour. And then temperatures really start to drop as we head towards the end of the forecast. So looking at lows tonight, that's what the thermometer is going to say, 36. Sky's mostly clear, but it is going to feel much colder. In fact, it will feel below freezing as we start out tomorrow morning. These are the wind chills in our 4-zone forecast. Below freezing, in fact, 30 and 31, likely going to be some of our warmest wind chills tomorrow. Generally 20s for wind chills in our south zone, and very similar numbers here in our west zone. 28 in Howell, 26 in Fenton to start out tomorrow morning, and in our north zone, a lot of mid-20s out there for wind chills. Temperatures rise as the winds pick up too. We'll get to 50, and again, this is going to be coming with a lot of sunshine, but again, that high wind warning runs from 10 a.m. tomorrow to 7 p.m. and then winds should start to subside very quickly as we head towards sunset. Temperatures only going down to go into the weekend. Saturday, we won't make it above freezing. Very close to that as we get into Sunday. Plus, we lose an hour, so I'm just full of good news.
I can't handle this. This is just too much.
We haven't seen a 15 in some time.
That's right. But paybacks for February, you knew they were coming.
No doubt about it. All balances out right now. Well, it wasn't quite a dine and dash. What this man stole from a Westland restaurant without realizing cameras were following his every move.
We'll have that and tragedy on the tracks. 3 people killed when a train slams into a bus. How this horrible crash happened. That's next.
If you were a loved
A lot of people in Texas are anxiously awaiting word tonight to hear if their family members are okay after a freight train slammed into a charter bus in Mississippi. The bus was taking 48 passengers from a senior center in Texas to a casino in Biloxi when it stalled on the train tracks, and we now know 4 people were killed when the train collided. Another 40 others were hurt, and some of them we know are in critical condition at this hour. The crash remains under investigation.
Westland police are trying to find the guy who stole money from a restaurant table. Take a look at the surveillance video from the Buffalo Wild Wings on Wayne Road. The man there is seen taking the money left behind by another customer to cover their check and the server's tip. If you recognize this thief, call Westland police. A former Michigan State trooper heading to jail for stealing while on the job. Today, 31-year-old Seth Swanson of Royal Oak was sentenced to 1 year in jail and ordered to pay restitution. He pleaded guilty to 2 felony embezzlement charges. From 2014 to 2015, he pocketed $170,000 in salvage vehicle inspection fees. The Downriver I-75 closure may be a headache, but today we got a reminder of why it's happening. A hole opened in the northbound lanes of the Rouge Bridge near Schaefer. And you can see crews there working on a fix. Right now, the southbound lanes are closed for repairs. When that's done, construction moves to the northbound lane.
We constantly hear that Americans are gaining more weight, and it turns out many don't seem to care. A growing number don't care. Anyway, according to researchers at Georgia State University, the number of overweight adults trying to lose weight is going down. In 1988, 56% of those who were overweight said they were trying to lose weight, compared to 49% in 2014. The largest drop was apparently among black women. Health experts suggest society's growing acceptance of obesity may be reducing the motivation to lose the pounds. At 8 months pregnant, a California woman probably looked like she was a pretty easy target.
But one robber found out the hard way that's not the case. Jeanette Garlow was getting a $2,000 money order to pay her rent at a convenience store near Los Angeles. That's when a guy comes up behind her, grabs some of the cash, and then runs off. You see him there. Jeanette chased him outside and grabbed onto the getaway car as he tried to pull off. He got away, but he dropped most of the money during the chase and only ended up with about $40. Jeanette scraped her knee, but other than that, she and her baby are just fine.
Wow.
Pretty incredible.
Gonna have a story to tell that baby.
Pretty good, and you should know what I did for you.
For you, exactly.